Hi, and welcome to Coffee with Claire. This series we've been talking about communication, and today I want to specifically talk about communication within your team. Now, a lot of times entrepreneurs are really gifted in creating something new that no one's ever seen or done before. However, a lot of entrepreneurs, because they're on that creative side, don't necessarily have the business side to go with them. And so what trap they end up falling into is being a worker bee rather than working on the business or working in the business. And I liken it to, coaches that help NBA players or help baseball teams and things like that. If you think of them as a way of running a business, it's like all the players they're all individual entrepreneurs, right? They all have their gifts, they have their talents, and they understand what they need to do as their job. However, the coach is there to make sure that everybody is working together as a cohesive unit to create something even better than one person can do, right? So they're developing the individuals, and they're also looking towards the long-term goal, the future. And, as entrepreneurs, a lot of times we don't do that. We get so involved in what's going on the day-to-day basis that we're not thinking long-term, and that's our job. And so if you are trying to be a coach, but you're really playing like a player, I invite you to stop. And my challenge for you this week is to take a look at your team and see where you are, and are you actually performing like a coach, or are you performing as an individual team member? And if you're performing as an individual team member, then I encourage you to find a third neutral party to help you. Each week we invite people who are entrepreneurs, give back to the community, and like to have fun. And this week our guest is Laura Lewis. Welcome, Laura.
Hey, I'm so happy to be here.
Me too. I'm so glad you're here. Laura is phenomenal. She is a speaker, a radio and TV personality of Z Living, as well as a producer, a writer, and clinical hypnotherapist. In addition, we're not done yet, she has a degree in food and nutrition from the University of North Texas, and she has created Hip Nutrition, which is a whole body-mind approach to achieving and maintaining optimal health, successful weight loss, and overall wellness. Her latest endeavor is founder and president of Odyssey Star Media, which is a production, publishing, and promotion company that's dedicated to changing the world for the better, one person at a time, through a multitude of communication channels. And that's time. No. I know. Well, welcome, Laura.
I can't help it.
I know. When you're a lifelong learner, you're always going to be picking up things, and then when you're an entrepreneur, you're always going to be applying them. So
that's right.
Yeah. So I get it. It's brilliant, and the world needs more people with your energy and your talents to help do the things that you really are good at, which is changing people's lives.
Yes, that's what I'm most passionate about.
I know, yeah. and you're so good at it.
Thank you.
You've got a tagline, and it's health, beauty, and the universe.
Ta-da.
So what's that all about?
Well, I've always been really passionate, ever since I can remember, about health and wellness. I mean, going through the grocery store and grabbing the little health pamphlets about how to make like oatmeal and honey masks and eating great stuff, and then...
well, you can eat that mask if you make it.
Yes. But really was intrigued about nutrition at a young age, and health and fitness, and I was fit. And then my grandma, she wore lots of red lipstick, and she, of course I love red lipstick and makeup,
looks
beauty, but also aesthetic beauty and beauty in the world. But universe is all about the fact that, I was raised in a traditional Catholic environment, but as I got to this point in my life, understanding the law of attraction and, really being a very spiritual person, but bringing everything together. And I feel I have a great mission to get that message out there and bring people together that have a similar platform for inspiring people and motivating and that kind of thing. So universe is sort of that umbrella, right? Like you. You're in that universal part of bringing positivity to people's lives.
Yes, and when we do that, we actually help people raise their vibration. And when you're raising people's vibrations through all of the wonderful channels that you have, then people have a tendency to get bigger, to broaden their horizons and do things that they never ever thought that they could possibly do. But they've got somebody like you to help them
Nudge.
along.
A
Yeah,
nudge,
yeah.
And it really is, I truly believe, though, that we're here, that our souls, our hearts and souls really want to have expression of what our true destiny is. And that's what I try to do.
So you've got a brand new company called Odyssey Star Media. And that kind of sounds like it has the universe involved in it. So what was the idea behind the creation of this company?
Well, this company really came out of the fact that, here I am. I've always been an inspirational, motivational, health-oriented person that likes to be around like-minded people. And I'll say it again, like you. Okay? And so, but I love to be around people that are life changers and world changers. And typically that's people either that they have the inspiration to write something, or they're an artist, or they're a musician, or simply in general want to get some sort of message out there. And I felt like there needed to be a home and a platform for them. So what I want to do is work with individuals, as I have. I have some clients right now. I have one actually I'll be interviewing in the future, Christina Carlin. And so taking those individuals and helping them figure out how to take their own message, conceive it in a way that is understandable, help them execute that out there into the world in a way that people go, wow, that's cool, that's neat, and I want that in my life. And so that's really what I'm doing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because a lot of times when entrepreneurs come up with an idea, it's from that creative side of their brain, but they don't really have that linear thought process to put a strategy in place to bring it either to market or to bring their dream to fruition, to where they're actually able to help people. So it sounds like that you've got a brilliant formula that kind of brings those two worlds together.
And I'll do a real quick mention. Is to say that because I've done just about everything in media, I've done everything, hosting and producing and radio and TV and you name it, there's hardly anything I haven't done regarding amplification of a message and communication. That's what I love to do. And so I figure, and I'm one of those people, my dad was an engineer. I have 3 kids that are artists, right? So there's something about the engineer and the artist that's together that has created this idea or this platform within me that I'm able to see that in others and how to create an integrated platform for them that's perfect for them.
And they really need you.
Thank you.
The world needs you because, we want to get these creative ideas out. And sometimes we just don't know where to start. And so, and I also know by nature you're very caring. And you ask really good, deep questions to help people even think through, wow, I hadn't thought of it that way. And, it's really important for people to have that kind of energy behind them.
Yes, I'm a mama bear.
Yes,
that's what I am. I'm just a big mother. I just want to wrap everybody up in my arms and carry them off. Yes, that's what I am.
Well, and she just might. Watch out. I may not be safe.
Watch out, Claire.
So talk about the vision for your company. What do you see long-term happening for you?
Well, long-term, really, I'd like to see a publishing platform where I'm able to do e-books as well as calendars and cards and hardback books and that kind of thing, kind of like a Hay House model.
Oh, awesome.
But also create integrated media platforms for those individuals that have those products. Do you know what I mean? It's sort of taking it 1, 2, 3 steps further than just beyond that. Because, technology is changing like crazy.
Yeah,
Think
very
about
fast.
it when we were young. What were the communication platforms for people back then?
Phone.
There were
letters.
3 channels. There were 3 channels.
Right.
And you were politicians, or you had a TV show, or wait a minute, you could be Miss America, and then you have a platform, right? But that was it. Our options were very narrow. And
Besides
now,
the platform shoes, of course.
Oh, yes, that's right. But now there's just all these choices, and they're always changing and always evolving. And what do you do? And that's where people need people like myself to say, I'm so confused, what do I do? And to figure out how to put the little mosaic together for them.
Yeah, cut through the clutter and get really focused on the things that are appropriate for them.
Yes.
And so when you're looking for clients, what are some of the very best clients for you?
Well, the very best clients are the ones that have a real heart and soul for what they're doing. Like they have this true divine kind of compelling message within them that they want to make a change for the better in people's lives. Whether it's just one person at a time, whether it's an artist that wants to do their art, or it's somebody that says, look, I want to be global and I want to get my message out there. It's really all about just the messaging and where they're coming from inside. Is that good? Is that a good answer?
It's brilliant.
Okay.
Not just good. It's brilliant. Here, high
That's
five
what
me,
I'm waiting for.
girlfriend. Yeah.
I want that brilliant thing. Thank you.
You
I always
already
feel
got
good
that.
around her. I really do. Thank you, brilliant person. Yes, you're brilliant too.
Well,
Okay.
you know, brilliance begets brilliance. And when we are brilliant together, that's when we change the world. And that's really, I know that that's important to you. It's important to me because, I mean, that's why we do what we do, is because we really want to help inspire and motivate people to get outside of their heads, get into their hearts, and do something. Do something.
And power in numbers.
Yes.
Power in numbers,
Yeah,
right?
so we can, you know, go forth and multiply.
Let's all go on the ship together.
Yeah.
Right?
Not,
Okay.
not have babies, really, but... So let's talk a little bit about your background. It's really unique. You know, I mean, we saw and heard all the different things that you've done. You know, you've got all the things around your body and mind and soul and health and things like that. I'm really intrigued about hip nutrition.
Okay.
And so let's talk a little bit about that. What does that mean?
Well, you know, I was living out in Hollywood until a year and a half ago, moved back to Texas, and, you know, it was a natural environment for me to be in, but I was very close to this neat school that taught clinical hypnotherapy that I was following for a long time. And I was like, whoa, I'm right here. I went ahead and got certified, went through a year-long program. It was intriguing, but I kept coming up with my nutrition background. It's like there is an aspect, there's a body, the conscious mind and subconscious mind. So I'm like, you know, hip nutrition, HYP nutrition, bringing the three together is really the holistic picture.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've always been intrigued by the human mind forever and ever. What compels somebody to do something, right? Why do they do it? Why don't they do it?
Right. You can see it in them. You want, you know, it's like, how come you don't try this? Because you know that they've been
overcoming blocks and that kind of thing.
Right.
So the cool part is, you know, a lot of times people go, oh, hypnosis, oh, that's, you know, scary. And other people really embrace it, especially if they've had positive results. I have a tendency to work with people that are more creatives and that kind of thing. Women and creatives, either they come to me to overcome stage fright or, you know, have courage to get out there or overcome anxiety, that type of thing. But, you know, there's new news at Stanford University. They've done some cool brain scan studies, MRI studies, that I think it's MRI or CAT scan, I'm not sure which, but anyway, I just read about it, and that they have verified that when a person goes under hypnosis, they're calling this a neurobiological phenomenon.
Wow.
And they say, indeed, something is surely happening in the brain for 75% of people who are able to be hypnotized. Of everybody, about 75%, 80%. So they said they identified in the brain. They go, there's this part that's relaxing, and there's this part that you can go outside of it, and there's a part you can disconnect from the pain or the stress or the anxiety. And that's just the coolest thing, isn't it?
It is.
Because with my clients, I had an opera singer once that came to me,
Okay.
hadn't sung in 17 years. This was out in LA.
Oh, wow.
She hadn't sung in 17 years. She said, this is what happened. A conductor sped up the orchestra. He was mean to her, scowling at her. She was all messed up. She was so traumatized that she did not get on the stage for 17 years.
So sad.
And I worked with her with the hip nutrition approach, looked at her diet, because her blood sugar was all wonky because of the stress that happened, right? And so 4 months later, she's on a stage and she's singing with an accompanist. And I mean, you know, the funniest part though was really interesting. She had a big, beautiful, long black gown on, and she came off. She goes, "Everything was fantastic except for this, Laura. My legs were quaking underneath." I said, "Well, we're going to work," because her body was like, "You used to be fearful." She was calm from the waist up. So it's crazy. So the fear was in the feet, right? The fear was in the body. And so I said, "Well, we're going to work on that," and we did, and that sort of went away. But it's a pretty interesting platform, and I love it. So why would I do that? Well, it's just another little feather in my cap of all the things I can do, and that way it can help me even in, you know, I'm interested in the psychology of marketing and impacting people, that kind of thing.
Well, and I can also see if you have a client that has come to you and you're helping them put together their strategic plan for marketing and PR, if they're afraid to get out of their comfort zone, then you can pull on your hypnotherapy and work with them to be able to achieve those things.
Indeed.
So, I mean, it really works together.
Indeed, I have.
That's brilliant.
Are you afraid to be on TV? Get on my couch.
Yes,
down.
ma'am.
There you go. Counting down. You know, it's pretty cool. It works great.
Well, let's talk a little bit about your ideal day. What are some of the fun things that you love to do during the day?
Well, my ideal day, honestly, Claire, and I know you're going to hate this, but I love to laugh a lot.
Oh, I
mean,
hate that,
I love being around people that, my qualifications for people I hang out with, they want to have fun, they want to laugh, they want to be creative, there's some spirituality to them. So I think part of my ideal day is having wonderful people around me that don't have like some strange chip on their shoulder about who I might be or whatever.
Right.
Totally accepting, right? But also just, I don't know, there's some symbiotic, wonderful relationship. And then just doing things that feed my soul, feed my spirit, whether it's what I do with my work, which is creating concepts and pulling them together, or making myself slow down. And ideally, let's go to the beach.
Oh, okay.
Let's go hang out at the beach, or let's go for a hike in the woods and be near water and flowers and animals. And it's my heart and my soul say, get out there, do those things, because if I don't, it's incongruent with how I need to be living my life. Well, too many people are not congruent.
Right. And when you're out in nature, you end up being grounded. And when you're grounded, you've got clear thought.
Yes.
But we are nature. We're designed to be
Yes.
out there. So, to me, if I'm having a stressful day, I just take off my shoes and go walk in the grass for a minute. It's
Which
amazing.
is beautiful and perfect. And they say it's the best thing because our shoes, a lot of them are synthetic. And they say when you're walking on synthetic soles, did you know this?
No, I'm learning.
Yes. Leather soles, you're more connected to the earth, or go barefoot. So either you go buy expensive Italian shoes, leather soles.
Okay.
And you'll be in that earth energy.
I'll call MasterCard
Tidbit from me.
and tell them you said.
And then you can blame me.
Yeah, right.
For your expensive cat. There we go. Okay.
So I understand that you have a boot camp model as a part of your company strategy. So let's tell the audience a little bit about what the boot camp's all about.
Well, this is something that actually, Claire, I've talked to you about. Yes, and Claire would be on my team. So what would happen is if when I have new talent come in, and there's pretty much a discovery aspect to it to see if they're perfect for the platform. And then we go off and we take a retreat and go away for 3 days or so,
Nice.
Hollywood or some other cool place, and we have a team of people to evaluate exactly what you are, what's your messaging, what do you want to do, and then pretty much kind of come up with a game plan for what's the logo, what's the story, what's the look, what is it, what's the direction, and really sort of blossom out the picture in a condensed fashion, do photos, do videos, little videos and that kind of thing to help the platform get going. It's just a really neat kind of way to give someone a big old push, like a nudge, like you said earlier. It's a neat way to say, here's the nudge with all these tools, and there you go. So that's what it's about.
And what I love about it is that it's a retreat, and so you're asking people to get out of their comfort zone, wherever that is, and go and focus on themselves.
Yes.
We never do that. Especially women. A lot of times we have a tendency to put everyone else before us. And you are inviting them to throw that responsibility aside just for a little bit and really focus so they can get their message out.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Because we can get so distracted by all that, right?
Yeah.
Hyper-focus.
Are you going to have them turn off their phones?
What do you think? I'm going to collect them. No, maybe not. I would get mad if someone said, I'm going to take your phone though.
It's like,
that's a little crazy.
You might as well cut off their arm.
I don't know.
Well, I know that you told us a little bit about the opera singer.
Yes.
Do you have any other examples of some people's lives that you've impacted in your career?
Yes. The one comes to mind is this young artist, and she's wonderful. Her name is Ash Almonte. And when I first met her, she was in a small town out kind of near Abilene, and was this young talent. And I saw her art for the first time in someone's home, and I just was stopped. I was stunned by her art. Well, I got to meet her, and she was having issues. She was young, and she just had this beautiful divine talent coming out. But she was like, I don't know what to say when people come up to me and ask me about my art. I know what it's about, but I cannot express myself. And I also get nervous and I'm shy.
Of course.
So what ended up happening
a lot of times they're introverts when they're...
It's fascinating. So I said, you know what we're going to do? So we worked on the part of the coaching, getting her, visualizing her to be calm and, doing the hypnosis model in a way. And then having her to be calm and knowing what the plan was. And then giving her a 1, 2, 3. I didn't make up her messaging. I talked to her. I said, what is it about? We came up with an artist statement that she was comfortable with. And then she was able to go into the galleries and someone would say, what is your art about? and she was able to comfortably evolve into that. Now, this is like 10 years later. She's very successful. She is a different person. She's thriving in it, doing all sorts of wonderful things. But it makes my heart feel good because I was like that mama bear that showed up at the right time for her, to recognize this fantastic talent that stirred my heart and my soul, because beauty feeds our soul, right? And she needed to get her wonderful art out there. And so that is really kind of, in a nutshell, what I'm doing for everybody else, too.
And it was really smart that you gave her 3 things, because that's how our brains are wired. I mean, even in improv, we call back things 1, 2, 3 times, and that's when people really get the message, too.
Yes, exactly.
So,
simplicity. It's always all about 3s, honestly. I'm always looking for the 3s, a 1, 2, 3.
Oh, makes sense.
Because I don't think we really go beyond, right? Well, there you go.
Or a hat trick, if you're into hockey.
Hat trick.
Well, Laura, it has been such a pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you.
Are an amazing woman.
Well, so are
and
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And so let's let the audience know how they can find you, how they can get your services and things like that.
Well, they can go to odysseystar.com.
Okay, and spell Odyssey for us.
Odyssey.
Okay.
odysseystar.com.
If you say it like that, it's even more mysterious.
odysseystar.com. And I can give a phone number,
sure.
which is 310-734-8356. So that's a direct line to get in touch with me.
Okay. And then what about with your hip nutrition and all that good stuff? Can they find you still? Do you still do that too?
I do. I do. They can just go to lauralewis.com.
Okay.
lauralewis.com, and there's a contact form there, and shoot me a message there as well. I take a very small amount of clients for that, but I don't do it full time, obviously.
Right, you don't have time.
But for the perfect client that I love to work with, they'll be part of my little group, and I get to nurture them along as well. Because I got to tell you something, when I do my hypnotherapy work with people, I do it like I dedicate 1 full day a week to it. It feeds me in some way. It helps me to get grounded, get clear, and I don't know, there's just something about it. It's kind of like medicine or something.
Well, it probably helps balance you out while you're balancing them too. So
yes, it's kind of cool.
Well, Laura, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Claire,
always
so
great to
very
see
much.
you.
It's always great to see you too.
All right. So today we're going to play a game called Arms Expert, and so what we're going to do is me and Laura are going to be on an interview. How appropriate, right?
Okay.
And we're going to put our arms behind us like this, and then Shelby and Ellen are going to be our arms. So they're going to step behind us, and they are going to position their arms in our arm pockets.
Hello, arms.
And we are going to interview Laura, and let's get a subject that Laura may have never heard of before.
Okay, all right.
So from the audience, what's a suggestion of something? I know you've done so much, so something that she's never heard about or done before.
An orange banana peel.
Okay, so you are an expert on orange banana peels.
Oh, my Lord. Okay.
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 Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to BR549. We are here with our guest, Laura Lewis, and she is an expert on
Hi, orange banana peels.
orange banana peels. And we looked high and low for her, and we found her in Gun Barrel City.
Here I am.
I'm so excited.
I used to live near there.
You do?
I did.
Oh, wow. Well, that just makes my stomach kind of hurt a little bit. So, now, Laura, tell me a little bit about how you got into this whole profession.
Well, it was on a big trip I took to Africa.
Africa?
I did.
I didn't know they had orange bananas there.
Yes, well, actually, I didn't either. Until we were just going through the jungle one day,
Oh, my goodness.
and all of a sudden there it was, the only orange banana peel tree I'd ever seen in my whole life.
Oh, my God. I'm getting a little verklempt. I think
Yes.
I need to, wipe off my forehead.
But you know what's special about these orange bananas?
I feel so much better now.
You know what you do with these orange banana peels?
What do you do?
Well, you put them on your face.
Oh, my God. I want some on my face.
Well, look at me. I mean,
I
I'm
know
like
you're
20
beautiful.
I mean, I'm like 120.
My God, you look great.
Thank
I guess
you.
I'll just put it on my shoulders instead. I've got great shoulders. Oh, thank you. Oh, well, okay, maybe my chin. a
Okay,
little
wait.
bit,
What
yeah.
am I? Oh, look at my waist. See, I'm like, okay, I forgot about my arm.
And that's time. Good job.
Thank you for having me, Claire. This is cool.
You bet.
Yeah.
So my first question is, we are all so busy. How do you balance fun with responsibility at work?
Fun and responsibility. So when you
Yes.
own a company, you have a lot of responsibilities. So I try to do the responsibilities that I enjoy doing, and then delegate everything else
There you
out.
go. Delegation.
Yep.
So what are some of the fun things about growing your business?
I think doing things with other people. So I call it audience hacking. But when you're working with other people, find people that have the same ideal customer that you're working with, and do things together.
Oh, okay.
I think so.
All right, so a collaboration.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. So how do you encourage others in their life to have fun?
So my fitness company, the kind of the tagline is work out with your friends for free, pay if you screw up.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
so I try to make it fun. You know?
From the very beginning there. So what advice could you give someone that might be struggling right now as to how to keep it fun?
How to keep it fun. I think doing things with other people and do things that make you nervous. Like, I'm nervous being here, but dive into the things that like ignite your heart and that shake you up.
Get
Because
that adrenaline
yeah,
going.
like I'm shaking right now. This is good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, tell us a little bit about your business.
Yeah. So the Village Push. Gosh, man, I started in about 2012.
Okay.
I had this idea to really help people, but I wanted it to be about something more than just like getting fit and like being strong, but like how to do something that like had a big mission to it. So like I tag nonprofits and fitness companies together.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
All right, Josh. So if you had a happy dance or a happy stance, what would that look like?
I think it's like this leg shaking, or this leg shaking.
Kind of like Elvis?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
I think that's
awesome.
my happiness right there.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So my challenge for you this week is for you to take a step back and evaluate how you're communicating with your team. Are you playing as a player, or are you really being a coach or a leader? And if you're not being a coach, then I do encourage you to find a third neutral party to help you to see that 30,000 square feet viewpoint. Remember, we always follow the fun here with Coffee with Claire, and I'll see you next time.